Welcome back to another game. We've got a pretty, not too high elo, but definitely higher than some of the later ones have been. We've got level 1 Crook in blue, playing as the Byzantines, and then King Proteus in red, playing as the Vikings. It's just a standard Arabia game, because for this game I was looking just for a mid-elo game, and not really an interesting map. I probably should have been looking for both, but arena games can be interesting too. Especially as elo goes higher, because they certainly get more aggressive the higher you go. And it's very close in elo here, as you can see. I actually recently changed a setting which should show the mouse cursor in the video. I'm not quite sure. I'll have to look over it once I'm done recording. But I think I fixed that problem that I mentioned a little bit ago. And blue's already taking the first boar, which is a lot earlier than I take it. But red hasn't taken their first board, and is just now getting their lumber camp up, so they actually know red is a bit behind with 5 seconds of idle time there. Guess it was a bit of a sloppy start. Looks like red's gonna build the house and then lure the boar. Because she was that villager, she was clicked on the bow originally, she had a bow. And now, this is actually a pretty good arena generation for both players. I mean, their golds aren't exactly in the back, and blue stone is way out in front here, but I hate having hills near my TC. So, this is very devoid of the hills, and okay, blue's actually taking the second boar and luring a deer. So blue's got a lot of hunt under their town center. Blue might actually get up really quick here. Could be going for some sort of weird build order, who knows. Red's got 3. Yeah, they've both got the same amount that I usually do. So at least I'm doing something right. Yeah, that is really early for blue to take that hunt. I'd assume there's a bit of an unusual strategy going on, or it really could just be... Well, actually no, blue's got nearly 10 seconds of idle time there now, and red's just taking the second one and luring deer. Yeah. So, I mean, that's not really a great boar lure. So while, I mean, they're good at multitasking at this elo, because that's the most harm their villagers have endured, but, you know, it can usually lead to some pretty bad lures, which is why not many people do it. And blue's actually ready to go up. Loon's gonna come in, and then they'll be up. And that's a pretty quick uptime. So, I guess they knew what they were doing. And yep, there comes Feudal Age. And red is actually housed, so they're getting loom. And well, red doesn't actually have enough food, but I'd assume they're gonna go up after getting loom and not make another villager. Yeah. So, a little bit of idle time there. 13 seconds now. But overall, a pretty clean Dark Age compared to some of the games we've seen recently. And they're both, well, no, red isn't, but blue is adding a second lumber camp here, meaning blue could want to go archers. That's usually part of an archer build order, and that's a deer in the back there, I think. Yeah. So he's hunt crazy, and if blue's lucky, red adding a second lumber camp and putting a barracks in front. blue's is going to go on the side there. So they've got very similar build orders here. Red has slightly more idle time, and still has not moved out of his base. Blue's gonna be way off from Red's base. Probably thinks Red is down here, so might not find Red until Red is up. Definitely won't, actually. Red's nearly up. But let's see here. Red's just now leaving the base, right? Yeah. But Red might actually be lucky enough to find Blue right away here. Yeah, okay. So the only thing of Blue that Red is actually able to see is the stable, which is probably the most important thing to see this early into the game. So Red will know Blue's going scouts, and Red's also going to go scouts. Now, there are a lot of ways you can open with Vikings, and scouts would not be my first pick. You know, they're an infantry civ, but they also get pretty decent archers. So I would open with one of those, like a men-at-arms rush or an archer rush. But we're gonna see scouts from Red here, and also spears, because Red did see this. So Red's gonna be ready for Blue's rush, and that scout attacking barracks was actually from it. So it's gonna be a very scout-heavy feudal age here, and those can get pretty intense. You can see some pretty large groups of scouts running around sometimes. I don't think there's no, there's not a hole there for Blue. So, and both players are playing very open. I guess since both are going scouts, I'm assuming that both players are really just going to quick wall, you know, if any come by, and that's, or actually Red's gonna put a spear at every unprotected area, so that also works, and Blue's gonna small wall here. But these two are unguarded. If Red got enough scouts over there, Red could get one or two, like one or both, but now the spears are guarding. So both players have done a very good job of keeping their villagers safe. There's been no kills so far this game, and Red is housed, which I'm just glad to know that somebody does it as much as I do. Oh my goodness, Red sneaks in. Blue didn't finish the wall, that villager's gonna go down. Wait. Oh. Blue really tried the quick wall there to save the villager. Oh my god. I didn't want to zoom out that much. Yeah, that would have been really impressive if that worked. But it did not, unfortunately. I'm always up for seeing cool quick walls, especially at lower elo games, because it's much rarer. He's gonna make a market and is probably going to focus on going up from there. Blue is it's looking dangerous for Red here. Yeah, Red's running back around to meet with the spears, and Blue is probably paying attention. He'll have to run away. Yep. Good awareness from both players. They haven't lost a single unit due to it being idle. I do think that one villager kill was unavoidable, but it actually doesn't matter because Red is severely behind. I actually haven't been noticing this, but Red is, Blue is nearly up to a minute, but Red's obviously had some troubles keeping the TC running, and now has 11 villagers queued up. Wait, that's a pretty odd thing to see up this high. Usually that's something lower elo players do after they get frustrated. Like they notice they've been idling for a while and then queue up 15 villagers to make sure it doesn't happen. So either a once-off thing from Red, or perhaps a bad habit that is carried on all the way to mid-elo. Red's got more scouts here. And more spears, actually. Blue can't really fight that. And, oh, Red doesn't manage to get the hit. Sucks. Oh, but Red's housed again. Red is definitely me if I were 1300. I get housed an unholy amount. And, oh, okay, Castle Age is queued up behind that one villager for Red, and Blue has clicked up. So, Blue will be up just slightly quicker than Red. Now the problem for Red here is that out of the two civs, I definitely think Byzantines have the stronger imp, because, I mean, they get a super cheap imp cost, and they just have a bunch of counter units. They have every counter unit you can think of. Camels, the spearman line, skirmishers, monks, everything. And Cataphract, which counter which would counter Red's spearmen or pikemen, because they do trample damage. Yeah, fun unit to go up against. But Red does get Arbalest. Vikings are, while not the best archer civ, they're not horrible, but they lack thumb ring. Which is, for some reason, one reason that many people dislike them as an archer civ. Personally, now this may be a controversial thing to say, but I don't know the difference that thumb ring makes. I don't notice it. Unless I'm playing cav archers, I don't notice what difference thumb ring makes. But Blue's actually hit that. But, yeah. It's easily breakable, and I think we're gonna see another villager die here. Oh, yep. Could be two. It will be two. Alright, Red's evening the villager numbers. Blue's still pretty far ahead. But they're built up to Castle Age now. And Red's gonna make a switch into crossbow. Oh, and Blue's gonna continue with camels, because seeing all these scouts, Blue's probably assuming that Red's actually gonna go into knights, but is just gonna have a bunch of camels that don't get great pierce armor against a bunch of crossbow. Yeah. That is with, they start with 0 base armor. Like, they are not a unit you want to be using like knights, and that means you can't fight crossbow. Oh, 2 villager town center there, and then the second one goes up down there. Alright, so Blue's gonna be on 3 eventually, and then Red's making one next to their gold. Okay. Yeah, Red doesn't know, I mean, Blue doesn't know what Red is up to yet. Well, that's a lot of pikemen. Alright, so either Red has just forgotten about making crossbowmen, or Red's going to trick Blue even further by making as many pikemen as possible. And then, what would you, well, but you would probably make skirmishers against pikemen, so I don't know why you would want to trick them with pikemen, because that would just lead them into counter unit for your unit you're trying to hide. I'll actually, I want to check. I should be able to see here. Red did get crossbowmen. Red didn't cancel it or anything, so hopefully Red makes some crossbowmen. Otherwise, that's a waste. Oh, monastery. That's a good call. And Blue's also getting a monastery. They're both gonna go for relics, and blue's probably gonna get most of them. But red has walled that one in. So red is guaranteed that one. But with all these camels, I doubt red's gonna get more than 2. Like this one, and then the one that he just got in his base. And now red is making crossbowmen. Okay, more archer ranges are also coming. So red hasn't totally wasted the resources. They're gonna have the same amount of production buildings, so if they're both constantly producing roughly the same production rate for each. Now, blue's actually not going to use the monks for relics. He's going to bring them forward as part of this attack here. Now, one of the things that is confusing me about this game is why blue isn't checking other places for openings. Like, I guess blue just assumes that red would be walled at this point, but it's still open. Maybe not here because there's a town center, but all the way down here, that's very open. And then you could just break through the palisade gate there. But blue's not being very ambitious with these camels. And even then, that town center's only there, so you could run by, really. But then you just run straight into the crossbowmen. Right here is really the jackpot. Even if you don't get all those, you'd idle a lot of them. Because they'd have to be garrisoned. And outposts. Outposts are a very underutilized aspect of the game. Well, a lot of people don't use them at all, and some of the people that do use them way too much. So, I think the people who use them way too much are much funnier than the people who don't use them at all. So, I'm a big fan of outposts. But it actually makes sense to make them with the Byzantines because you get both of the vision techs for free from the town center, and so you can see a very wide range here. In fact, I think there's even a bonus that Byzantines get for a few extra bits of line of sight. But I may be just thinking of the Ethiopians' outpost bonus. But because of this outpost, blue can see all the way into red's base here, and can see that it is still kind of open there, but still kind of guards down. And red might get a conversion? No. Alright. Slowing down a bit. I'm really not sure. This isn't that intense of a moment. Okay. First conversion of the game. One conversion. Okay. Most of those monks are probably gonna die here. I think this is a winning fight for red. Actually, camels are kind of doing well. All the pikemen are gone. 2 camels have been lost. And a lot more pikemen have been lost. And that could just be because red's not focusing down on the very weak ones. Yeah. So, I don't... Okay. There, that reset it to normal speed a bit. I'm not sure, it just decides to do that some nights. Sorry about that. Yeah. So, where was I? I think that was a winning fight for red. Can we just go back and watch it at normal speed? Thank you. So, red obviously wins that fight because, well, I mean, these camels are cheaper, thanks to one of the Byzantine bonuses. But a lot more camels died than crossbowmen there, I think. Now, these scorpions can do some real damage here. Red really needs a way to get rid of these scorpions. How many conversions? 1? 2? 2 conversions. 2 conversions. And 2 monks lost. So it's not looking good for red there. And now this castle is going up. I'm really tired of this slowing down here. I want to watch the game at normal pace. No. Okay. That's cool. I've always wondered why when you click 1 times speed in Capture Age, it then goes to 1.7. Why is it not just 1? I don't get it. Oh, well, actually, it's probably because in-game time is a little faster than normal time, right? So 1 times speed is actually slower than it is in-game. That's right. Forget about that. It's like in-game time is, for some reason, different. Now, there could be a lot of conversions here. I'm guessing that knight will definitely get converted. No, okay. The second knight really saved his butt, but both of them die. Better than giving it to your opponent. And now blue's gonna build a TC right on enemy lines here, just as a bit of disrespect. Now blue's clicked up, because it's super cheap. I missed that, obviously, because I was probably messing with the time here. And then red's just clicked up here, and is getting ballistics for the crossbow. I think this is a loss for red, unless somehow red can keep this castle up for another 2 minutes. Red just has to survive the trebs for 2 minutes, and then can maybe push this back. But at the same time, even then, I don't know. These camels did a lot better against the crossbowmen earlier than I thought they would, and especially paired with the scorpions now. It's gonna be pretty hard for red to do something about this. Because, I mean, anything you can make that would be able to run in after the scorpions that isn't cavalry, that's countered by camels, would be infantry, which is countered by scorpions. And you could see for a second, blue accidentally got cavalier there, but it's getting heavy camel. And heavy camel will be even better here. I guess as Byzantines, you just go for camels as if they're knights. Maybe because they're so cheap. Oh, and that monk does get sniped. But it costs 2 scorpions, so could be a bit of good news for red there. I'm gonna wait, like, just a little bit. I don't want the last bit of this game to be this slow. So let's just appreciate what's going on in other parts. Overtrop, farms being added, another overtrop, yeah. Classic late game stuff, because you're focusing on other things. Gold's almost depleted. Okay. It's kind of made it better. It's still pretty slow here. And then, yeah, it's slowing down again. I don't know. Honestly, I'll probably figure it out. What? Is that going to be a 2-villager castle? Gotta say, I don't approve. But it's not like red can really deny anything, because he could just run the camels over there. So so... Oh, no. Okay. I was also just wrong. A lot more are coming. Okay. Yeah. I now approve. Red's up. Blue only made one treb in the time it took red to get up. That will die. But blue's... I mean, red's got 2 castles here. And blue's only got this one. But blue's actually stopped making trebs. Blue's gonna make bombard cannons, which are very dangerous for red here. For the crossbowmen and the trebuchets. And I don't know. Oh, okay. I thought blue was gonna move in. I thought it was the end. And now red's probably getting the notification that he's being attacked on this side, which can't be good. No, you're focusing. Oh, I mean red could see that the whole time. Okay. But another one is gonna go right on his stone. So that one will definitely not feel good. And you can even see that being placed, and you can't really do anything about it. That's red. Go. And yeah, oh god, the crossbowmen are flattened by the scorpions, and the game speeds up again as all the units die, I'm assuming, is why. And yeah, it's called. So, I just think in many situations, Vikings are the weaker civilization. As much as I like archers, they don't have the greatest late game, because they don't even get halberdier. And you're kind of forced into archers with them. Or infantry, which the scorpions would have killed. Unless there could have been something to mass berserks. Because this is a lot of wood and gold. I mean, food and gold. But then again, getting fully upgraded elite berserks, it takes a lot of resources. This much could probably be used to get, like, the unique tech, the chieftain's tech, and the elite tech. And that's all it would cover. Like, they're expensive. Yeah, well, at some point, red got fervor. Let's look at the APM here. Pretty even. Red was mostly quicker in the early game, and then petered out. Well, well played for both. I'm not sure what red could have done better. The scorpions really did some stuff for blue there. Maybe your own bombard cannons or mangonels, but that's about all I can think of. And the mangonels and the bombard cannons would be, I mean, they'd be in danger due to the camels, so it's very hard from red's position here. Maybe you could have made a few berserks to raid, but I don't know how well they would have done raiding. So, yeah. Thank you for watching, and let's see. Don't be like this guy.